If you have any questions and or topics you want me to cover in future videos, be sure to leave a comment and let me know. I want to cater towards my currently very small audience as much as possible, covering the topics you want to see. Novak Djokovic is a mental giant of the game. Scratch that. He is the mental giant of the game. Whilst Rafa Nadal may show constant and continuous determination and drive to achieve success, Djokovic has shown an unmatched ability to actually physically translate that determination, drive and focus into results time after time. The more famous examples of this superpower is his 3 matches against one of the greatest, Roger Federer. Many consider Roger to be probably the most naturally talented tennis player of all time. Even if you don't believe him to be the greatest, there's no arguing he is up there. And yet, with his immense success and raw talent, he currently has a losing record against Novak. Whilst many will point out that often enough Fed seems to win more points, or push Novak to 5 if he does lose, or get it done in 3 if he wins, he has received some devastating losses to the Serb, when you would think the win has been right on his racket. Specifically, the matches I'm talking about today are the US Open semi-finals in 2010 and 11 and last year's Wimbledon. And so, if Fed fans are finally ready to move on after their heartbreak, let's get into why and how Novak Djokovic keeps beating Roger Federer when down match and championship points. What's to follow will be a quick breakdown of their journeys within the tournaments and the points themselves. At the end, I will discuss what exactly is the reason behind the shots they played and how Novak did what he did. I think it's important we start by providing some context. Where were they in their careers and how did Roger get into the position he was in? Well, 2010 Fed was 2 in the world, after losing in the quarters at Wimbledon to Thomas Berdych, who went on to the final, also beating Djokovic along the way. Rafa ends up winning his 2nd title there, regaining world number 1 on the 7th of June. Djokovic, meanwhile, was number 3 in the world, attempting to exact his revenge on Roger after his defeat in the semis the previous year, the year in which Fed humiliated him with one of the best tweener winners ever. They had also played in the semis in 2008 and met in the final in 2007. It's fair to say Novak was probably getting sick of being 2nd and 3rd to Roger and Rafa. Fed hadn't really seen any trouble on his way to the semis, not dropping a single set, whilst Novak, after a 5-set battle with fellow countryman Viktor Troicki in the first round, he also wasn't too troubled. Their last meeting came in Toronto of that year, whereby Roger made it to the final after beating Djokovic 6-1, 3-6, 7-5. But how did Federer get into his winning position against Novak in the semis of the US? It's Djokovic's serve. Fed is 5-4 up in the 5th. The serve goes to his backhand, and after a forehand down the line, forcing Roger to retreat behind the baseline, he is forced to lift the ball, giving Novak a look at a smash. Guessing right the first time, Roger returns it, leading Noel hitting his 2nd opportunity into the net. The next serve, Roger takes a slight step to his right, guessing wrong as Novak attacks his backhand once again, leading to Fed's return going long, 15 all. A 2nd serve once again is aimed towards Roger's backhand, but with a slightly mistimed flick of the wrist, he sends it right to the back of the court, causing an unforced error from Novak. This time, he attacks the forehand of Roger, and after a brief rally, he is gifted another unforced error from the backhand of Djokovic. 15-40, 2 match points to Fed. How did he lose this match? Novak's first serve goes long. He hits a safe 2nd serve towards the body of Federer, but Roger runs around it to hit a short forehand. Novak very intelligently begins a short rally from his forehand, the stronger shot in tennis, to Fed's backhand, the weaker shot, and after a slice dips short, Novak hits a forehand down the line, drawing Roger way out of position, managing to get another ball back before Noel hits a drive volley winner. Another first serve goes long, and again on his second, he attacks the backhand. After a couple shots down the centre of the court, Novak edges over to his left, trying to get into a position to hit a forehand. And he does, hitting another down the line to make it deuce. 2 match points saved. The rest isn't too important, as the narrative we always remember is how he saved the match points, not necessarily how he then won it afterwards. But the following point, he hits a body serve and really tries to hit all forehands until he once again finds the line with this time a cross-court winner. He beats his chest with his racket, showing he's not done yet. Roger fights back and wins the next point, but again Novak targets that backhand on his serve and within the rally, taking the point back with another forehand down the line. Roger has seen what he has to do, however. He wins the next point once again with a serve to his backhand. He hits it nice and deep though, back towards the Djokovic backhand, meaning a short ball ends with a classic Federer approach shot. Novak eventually wins his service game with a slice into the net from Federer. Now, could you see the strategy? How did Novak come back from 2 match points down in the 2010 semi-finals of the US Open? Simple. After 2 backhand errors gifted to Roger, Novak refused to give him an opportunity at a free pass by ensuring he only hits forehands from now on. The key pattern he used has 2 or 3 parts. 1. The serve, almost always to Federer's backhand. If he gets a short ball, he will happily put it away, as he ended up doing. 2. His forehand. As I said, he kept running around his backhand and backing up to his left, ensuring he could attack with the stronger shot. 3. His attitude. He never gave up, and if anything, just went for it. He didn't back down, aiming for the lines and going for those lower percentage shots, even after 2 or 3 unforced errors. That's what makes Novak special, and we'll see the difference between him and Fed later for this reason. 2011, Djokovic had the best year of his career so far, and arguably still his best year so far, winning 3 slams and gaining a 42-match winning streak, which was eventually ended by Roger in the semis of the French. He also became world number 1 for the first time on July 4th, and held it for a year. Roger, meanwhile, was still number 3 and having a great year himself. This became the first year in which he had not won at least a single slam since his first in 2003. Neither of them are troubled by anyone on their way to the rematch, losing just a set each. Once again we find ourselves in a 5th set. This time it's on Roger's serve, and he's just broken Novak's. First point goes to Novak with the backhand going long. Novak guesses wrong, however, with a 120-mile-per-hour ace going his backhand side. Roger hits a safe second serve body serve, drawing an error as Novak attempts to run around it. Again, Novak jumps to his right as a second serve kick serve is hit to his backhand. Being further away and the ball being a little higher, his return goes straight into the net. 2 match points on serve. Novak nods to the crowd, to himself. He knows exactly what he's about to do. Time to do exactly what he did last time. Just to go for it. No fear, no hesitation. He is attacking this next ball no matter what. For the first time this game, Roger serves to his forehand, a serve Novak has been hoping would happen but has been guessing wrong, and he lets it rip cross-court. He raises his arms to the crowd, again for the 2nd year in a row, just showing Roger he's not done yet. Fed hits a fast body serve and Novak returns it short. Federer goes cross-court but hits the top of the net and goes out. Deuce. After hitting a very safe second serve, Fed instantly goes after another slightly short ball from Novak, hitting it long. 2 errors now, with no pressure coming from Djokovic's end at all. An ace to Novak's forehand and another unforced error to follow. The game finishes with a double fault. The following 2 games, Roger hits 4 unforced errors, with Novak attacking that backhand wing and using his own forehand to create brilliant angles. So, how did Novak come back from 2 match points down in the 2011 semi-finals of the US Open? Similar to last time, but with a little more flair, he attacks the ball going for the lines. It's a 50-50 situation, but he's on the winning side of that 50, helped by Roger changing up a routine that got him to those match points by serving to Novak's forehand instead. Again, Novak raises his arms. This we can assume really affected Federer. 2 years in a row, Novak's come up with something spectacular and just shown no fear at all. But this time, Novak backs off a little, with some aggressive play by Fed ending the points by being too aggressive, trying to end it too quickly. With the break back, Novak then increases his own aggression, from then on being the dominant force. 2019, Federer is knocked out of Australia in round 4 by a fresh-faced Tsitsipas, not able to convert multiple break points. He plays the clay season for the first time properly since 2015, getting to the Madrid and Rome quarterfinals and being beaten by Rafa at the French. At Wimbledon, he is seeded 2 and along his way to the final experiences some great match toughness, losing 3 sets, including a 4-set thriller versus Nadal the previous round. Djokovic is seeded and ranked number 1 in the world, losing just the 2 sets en route to the final. During the match, it seems Federer is the better player, but Novak was able to take the key opportunities, not making an unforced error in any of the 3 tiebreaks within the match. I think it's important to remember for this match, Djokovic almost choked himself on his serve. He was 30 love up, Federer constructs a deserved point, a body serve later, Novak tries to pressure the backhand of Roger, but he does well to keep the ball relatively deep, leading to a forehand down the line from Novak going long, with another follow-up leaving him 30-40 down, 7-all in the 5th set. Attacking the backhand, a short ball means he approaches the net, but with not much pace on the ball, Federer is able to get there with Novak still moving in. He hits it cross court to make a winner. 8-7 Federer, serving for the match. He opens the court up with a serve wide to Nole's forehand, but hits his response long, love 15. They exchange with a cross-court rally next point, until Fed hits a forehand down the line, forcing an error from Novak. Nole guesses wrong and Fed hits an ace to make it 30-15, with another to follow. 2 championship points. Federer hits the tape with his first serve, but Novak guesses wrong again, meaning if he'd managed to hit the serve slightly higher, it would all be over, but it isn't. Hitting a safe second serve, Novak hits a forehand to the centre of the court. Federer attempts to run around it to hit a forehand, sending it wide. Fed hits a pretty safe first serve down the tee. Novak blocks it back. Roger hits a safe forehand down the line and almost last minute decides to charge the net, but by the time Novak gets to it, he's 2 or 3 steps away from where he needs to be, giving Novak an opening to hit a cross-court passing shot. Now, Novak dictates the play, with a deep backhand and pushing Federer wide with a cross-court forehand, followed up by an error by Roger. That's the breakdown finished. Now I know some of you will have skipped to this bit, so what specifically happened? We have 2 scenarios here. The first match in 2010, Novak was serving. He made errors on his backhand, giving the opportunity to Federer. After this, however, he really tries to hit only forehands, specifically directing them to Federer's biggest weakness, his backhand. He serves to his backhand, he directs most balls altogether to his backhand. This forces Roger to one side of the court, allowing him to attack with his forehand down the line, and he doesn't miss. He quickly starts growing in confidence and believes again that he can win this match. 2011 and 2019 both times saw Federer serving for the match. 2011 starts with a few errors from Novak, setting up Roger to win the match. You can see in his body language, Novak knows where he's putting this next ball, and he's hitting it as hard as he can. A what do I have to lose type attitude can go one of two ways, and unfortunately for Roger, it meant another loss to Djokovic. The difference this year, however, was Roger. In 2010, Novak took the reins from him by force. After this return, however, Fed got nervous, probably remembering last year's match, and decided to not let Novak into a rally, attempting to end the points as quickly as possible, causing himself to hit 2 errors and a double fault. The reason why I have matched up 2011 and 2019 is not just because Roger was serving for the match in both, but because the reasoning behind those losses are more similar. 2 aces gets him into a winning position, but he gets nervous and misses another potential championship winning first serve, and then attempts to run around his backhand in fear of Novak bullying him around the court, instead hitting a forehand to push Novak out wide on his backhand, but it's an error. He then makes the mistake of hitting a way too safe approach shot and rushes the net. Just like in 2011, he's too eager to finish this and doesn't want to give Novak the opportunity to make it level again. This again gives Novak the confidence he needs to finish the match with another error from Federer. Overall, it's a combination of poor decision making on Roger's part and, to be honest, a little luck on Novak's with his go for broke mindset in these situations. Both of them in the different matches don't play percentage play tennis. The difference is that Novak won those risky points and Roger didn't. Djokovic's mental fearlessness and the fact he picks on Federer's backhand causes the latter's lapses in judgment and execution, which in turn increases Nole's confidence whilst decreasing the Swiss's. In my opinion, instead of being afraid of Novak doing something special again, he should be asking the questions. Can you do it again? You have to win this match. What I mean is, apply pressure, but don't be so aggressive you want to finish the point early. Force Novak to win the point. Don't give him the point. As we saw, 2019 on his service game before, Novak made the errors to give Roger the opportunity and confidence to break.